Good afternoon, guys. Uh, this is the ReEQ parametric I have been promising to talk about. Uh, let's do a little experiment. I discovered this recently, and I don't know if it may be of some value to you. I have found that all my tracks appear to step forward when I do this. And let's get on with it. I'll show you what's happening. Let's put a high pass, the lowest point we can achieve. That's 10 hertz. It defaults to a 12 dB slope. The curious feature I was talking about on this plugin is that it has a listen function, a listen button, and it stays engaged. Whereas on the ReEQ, on the ProQ, which I borrowed from my son, it has a listen function. Mouse on engages it, mouse off deactivates it. You see that? It doesn't hold. Okay. I'm going to put that away. I have to move quite quickly here. Back here, our listen function is on. We're at 10 hertz. All we are hearing is the rumble and the noise down here between 20 and 10 hertz. Now, warning in red flashing lights. Take your headphones off and switch your speakers off. If you are going to do this, I ended up with a headache, and my ears were also buzzing for a couple of days after I was experimenting with it. So please take care of your hearing. Let's run the guitar track. Remember, we are hearing only what's happening in here. Let's see what it's reporting on the master. Minus 80 dB, minus 80 LUFS. Nothing remarkable there. Let's take it down a notch or two. Okay, and I'm going to start pulling the frequency up until I see minus 60 appearing on the master, and I'll explain why in a moment. There's a master starting to climb, and there's some peak woofiness. Now, as soon as you go over minus 60, watch the meter, watch the RMS wings appear to the side. I'll push it up further just to demonstrate. There's your RMS wings. You don't want to see those. And they appear at minus 60 on the master. Before that, you only get the center section peaking occasionally. Look, below minus 60, you only get here. Soon as it goes over minus 60 on the master, you will get the RMS, which is much louder. I'll push it up just a little bit to show you. There you go. Do you see them? As soon as they go over. Okay. We're going to keep it below minus 60 as a rule of thumb. Here is probably telling us to do that as well. And I will also show you it on another plugin, for instance, on the SSL, on the expander. Minus 60 dB. Look. So I think minus 60 is a good place to be in when you're high passing and low passing. Instead of doing it arbitrarily, just putting a high pass on and a low pass, now we have a target to work towards, which makes a hell of a lot of sense, in my opinion. Okay, so look how much we've cut out of our guitar signal. All of this is gone. And we're still on the listen function. I hope you haven't got your headphones on, or you will damage your hearing and possibly give yourself a splitting headache, and you don't want that. So, using the frequency selector and the slope, Keep your master below -60. Okay, a little bit of peakiness doesn't really matter. You can go to -70 if you want to really clean. If you need it, if you need to clean, it depends on yourself, on how clean you want down there. Okay, remember, first things first, take it off listen, or you won't hear anything. There's your signal back. Let's do the other end quickly. Okay, low pass at the extremity, 22 kilohertz. No boost, no gain, just keep it there and put the listen function on. Here is what we are listening to on the guitar, and already I can see it is quite active on the master. Just this little bit here is pushing out. Look, we've gone above -60. There's our wings. So, how often have you come in and just arbitrarily put a high pass on? Same as me, I imagine, quite often. Let's see if we can do better. Let's see if we can get it to below -60. Let's put the slope a little steeper. It's quieting down on the master. Okay, let's pull it back a little, see if we can make it better. Keeping it above -60 on the master. It's climbing. There's our peak woofiness and there's our RMS woofiness. Okay, as soon as it went over -60, the wings appeared. So push it back and take it off. Listen. Look where we are. 10 kilohertz rolled off at -20 at 24 dB. 100 hertz rolled off at, what are we on? Oh, no, not that one. Where did that one come from? I'm going to delete that one. This one. We are at almost 60 hertz on a slope of 24 dB. I'm going to do another one quickly, see if we can squeeze it in. I've already lost 2 videos this morning because I ran over on time. But bass is even more obvious. I want you to see it. And we're going to do it backwards this time. I'm going to just disable that for the moment. We'll do it backwards. This time, I started at the other end of the bass, which probably makes sense. And we want to keep it above -60 on the master. We have slightly over, so I'm just going to push it back a couple of kilohertz and keep it above -60. There we go. Just leave it there. And we can do the same at the other end, at the bottom end, making sure we don't go over about -40 hertz. Sorry, 40 hertz, because of the low E string, I think is 38 hertz, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there, 38, 39 hertz. So using your frequency and your slope, keep it below -60. We're at -59, look, and just as we go over the 60, the wings appear. Okay, you see that? Okay, take it off, listen. Now, in theory, we have a nice clean signal to go into our channel strips. And I want you to watch the compressor on the channel strip. All right, I'll put it into the center for convenience. Push this to one side. It tickles our compressor. Okay, and I think that's a nice spot to be in. If you do this on each of your tracks, you will find that they take a step forward. I have actually uh, maybe I noticed on one song at least that I was working on, there was an actual increase in volume on the master because we have taken away all this and this on all of the tracks, and it has allowed the significant parts of the signal to come forward. This is holding our nice signal. It's holding it back. Try it on your tracks. See if you like it. If it works for you, it certainly works for me. And I will warn you again, do not do this with your headphones on. Don't just turn them down, unplug them and switch your headphones off. It's very nasty stuff. I think we've got a listen on here somewhere. No, it was just a quiet section. Give this a little try, see what you think of it. And I think if you just do it on 4 tracks with no other plugins, regardless of channel strips and everything that, put it on each of your tracks, do this, and then put your favorite plugins afterwards. I think you will see that it's much nicer. Again, I would say I'm not a professional engineer. I'm not a DSP programmer. I do a little bit of programming, but not in the DSP area. I have tried it a couple of times, and I don't have the patience for it. I've tried learning Juice, and I did C++ at school, but like I say, I'm not a professional engineer by any means. If this works for you, that's another tool in your toolbox, perhaps. I have seen nobody else cover anything like this, so I hope it helps. And thanks for watching again, guys, and perhaps I'll do a follow-up. I know my videos are very short at the moment, so it's difficult for me to get across everything I want to get across. I hope that these little hints help you. And remember, once you've this done, you can then bring in your tape 16 and we can start doing the syncing. Remember, you can't use these in tape 16. You might want to sync into tape 16 after doing this, which is a very good, wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Another thing I meant to say to you is Control Q is a nice soft quit for tape 16, right? And it's also a nice safe quit for Reaper. Watch this, Control Q. And I'm going to say bye-bye.